Okay, guys, I'm really, really scared.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
I am absolutely terrified that history is going to repeat itself, and we have to talk about this. So first and foremost, Gabriele Pròcida. So you guys know that I'm really high on him, and I know that the San Antonio Spurs have shown interest in him. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to say this, and please don't take this with a grain of salt, okay? Do not take this with a grain of salt. I truly do believe Pròcida can be a star in the NBA. Now, I've ignored so many people that tried to tell me that the lottery doesn't matter, that there's so many stars that you can get outside of the lottery. I mean, if you look through history, Jimmy Butler, come on, man. What about Jokic, dude? Two-time MVP. He wasn't a lottery. Look, I don't want to hear any of that, okay? Because at the end of the day, that's 1 in a trillion. It's really hard to find. And on top of it, I mean, shoot, dude. I mean, people want to bring up Manu Ginobili, and it's like, well, to start off the whole dynasty thing, you know, you kind of needed that first overall pick, right? So I don't want to hear any of that. So, but with that being said, I will be honest with this one, okay? Pròcida is legit. He is absolutely legit. I would take a swing on him so quickly if I'm the San Antonio Spurs. But that's the problem. I'm very, very afraid, not of him as a player, but of history. So as you guys know, Gabriele Pròcida, he showed out at the combine. He showed up. People were talking about his athleticism. They were like, wow, I did not know he had this much to his game, his quickness, everything. He was pretty doggone great, essentially, right? So a lot of teams started looking at him. And then what came out not too long after that was that the San Antonio Spurs have interviewed him, that Manu Ginobili talked to him. He even talked about how they both talked in Italian. See, we spoke in Italian. It was great to meet him. And yeah, so it really showed that the San Antonio Spurs has huge, okay, absolutely huge interest in Gabriele Pròcida. Now, with that being said, what I'm afraid of is that we haven't heard anything. We haven't heard anything else from Pròcida. And that's not a bad thing for the Spurs necessarily. That doesn't mean that the Spurs aren't interested anymore. What I'm afraid of is that we're going to come across what we've come across recently. As you guys remember, the Spurs were interested in Jordan Poole, and Jordan Poole even made this known that he had a pre-draft workout with the Spurs, that he talked to the Spurs, and they basically promised him a spot, and other teams heard of it, and we weren't able to get him. They just snagged the rug right underneath us. That recently happened. Now, this also happened with Batum. It was the same exact thing. The Spurs promised him a spot on the roster. Trailblazers heard of it, took him from us. Another player, Kyle Kuzma. We had huge interest in Kyle Kuzma. Lakers heard, grabbed him right underneath us. Now, what's similar to all of these is that every single one of these players went ghosts after the San Antonio Spurs spoke with them. And I'm just really afraid that that's going to be the exact same thing here. So I am, and we're going to talk about this more and more in other videos, but I'm more and more convinced that the San Antonio Spurs need to take him maybe even at 20. And another thing too that I want to bring up is a lot of people were kind of confused about the Josh Primo situation. Like why would you take Josh Primo so high? Well, the reason being is because other teams heard that the San Antonio Spurs were interested in him, and the Spurs had to take him earlier than they would like. So you just got to keep these things in mind. And this is really terrifying me because this is a guy, Jordan Poole, great talent, okay? Batum, obviously great talent. Kyle Kuzma, really good talent. I know a lot of people like get on to him, but I think the Kardashians took away some of his superpowers, right? But that's besides the point. I'm just joking. Not really. But anyways, Gabriele Pròcida, like, I think that he could potentially have more talent than all those guys. Like, I am really high on him, and I'm really afraid that other teams are going to get a whiff of this, because the fact that he's been ghost since May 20th with all that talent is a little strange. It's not happening a lot with a lot of these prospects. We're still seeing things come out. Obviously, like Dyson Daniels is still out there, like, advocating for himself. Excuse me. But Gabriele Pròcida, I haven't heard a thing. It was like that one day, and then it's ghost. So I would not be surprised at all if the Spurs said, yeah, we're gonna take you, okay? Let's just stick with us. We're gonna take you. We're gonna promise you that spot in the first round. And I just wouldn't be shocked if they took him. But, dude, I'm just praying that the same thing doesn't happen where these teams know what we're trying to do. So you guys let me know what you think. That's just my theory. I don't have anything to back it. I got a lot to back it up. All this history, dude. I'm sorry. But you guys let me know what you think. If you want to support the channel, only $2 per month. Patreon, YouTube members, link in the description. I'll get with you later. Till next time. Deuces.